Yeah, that last episode was a weird one. I'm just realizing, like, there's more stuff I want to talk about with Star Citizen, but I really don't want to just talk about Star Citizen, and I don't want it to be a consecutive thing. So Star Citizen... No. I know, like, Halloween, so today... Well, I guess you don't know how long Halloween was. And I guess you don't know how long it's been since the Halloween party, which I think I probably mentioned. And then I just didn't mention anything about... No. So one of my friends who... Like, basically the only friend... Sorry. So... Yeah, so, So, like, yeah. Ahem. One of my, like, there's basically one friend who's into motorcycles, who's actually gotten into motorcycles, has actually rode on motorcycles, crashed on a motorcycle. At one point actually was manufacturing motorcycle jackets. But, and I don't know, it's actually a little bit surprising, like, like, I don't know, so, he started producing them, and then somebody pointed out, like, hey, where's, like, the specs, or where's the certifications that this is actually, like, motorcycle armor, right? It was like, well, I don't have that, and I, don't have the money for that. It's an expensive process to test that, and, like, I cannot personally guarantee that this armor will protect you, right? So, he stopped making it, out of moral concern, out of the moral concern. I'm like, that is very respectable. I'm also like, it's respectable, but I'm also like, wait a minute. This seems like, shouldn't there be something about that? For like, I don't know. And I don't know necessarily exactly if he was claiming that it was like really good motorcycle armor. I mean, he definitely, like, it was a Kevlar lined thing, but like how good it actually was, like, had not been tested, I think. He's a cool guy. Sorry. So I now being into motorcycles, I actually was talking with him, and I mean, I was tipsy. So I don't know how much. Well, I do remember quite a bit. I was not, like, drunk. But I was just buzzed to shit. And there was also another friend who, got her motorcycle license. So, or, got the thing. Got the M1, I believe. Or M2? I don't know. But, does not have a motorcycle, but has the legal ability to ride a motorcycle. Anyway, so I was talking with him, and, yeah, so I think I had some ideas. I don't think my ideas are too far away. I don't think I did a very good job of explaining exactly. I think that he probably thinks that I have no idea what the fuck I'm thinking. And, maybe that's true. But, yeah, I don't think so I was like, alright, so I think, like, so I think the Honda Super Cup's cool. It's like, well, yeah, okay, so you do not want, like, you really don't want a motorcycle you want something with a little bit of power. You want to have, like, the power to be able to, to actually, like, accelerate out of the way and have some maneuverability. So I think he recommended, like, a 300, like, a minimum a 300cc motorcycle. maybe like 300 or 400. It was like, okay, so I think the Super Cup's cool, but I think my probably go with the an NX 250. I was like, I mean, if 250, like, okay. And he was also like, yo, like, why do you want to ride a motorcycle? And he was explaining because he got, I'm not 100% sure what two bikes he has. He got, like, basically he got his dream bike, a Triumph Bonneville. He got his dream bike, worked his ass off for it, and got it, and, it was a thing. And then he crashed it, as as you do, and got a replacement. Not a replacement. Got a new bike, and was like, it's a BMW, and I don't know what BMW. I don't know if it was a cruiser. I don't know if it was a standard. I don't know if it was a sport bike. It was like, yeah, this is not my thing. This is not why I ride. I was like, okay, so, I mean, I know why I want a motorcycle, because I am a very utilitarian focused person. It's like, this is cheap. I feel like I'm not taking up a lot of space on the road. I want to be able to repair my own motorcycle, and this is going to be an easier thing. It's going to be easier to do that. It's cheaper, and all that jazz. More economical, and it was like, oh, a dual sport, which is perhaps, might have been all the explanation I gave, which is obviously, there's a little bit more than that, right? Like, okay, I want a dual sport because they tend to be single cylinders. I mean, like, are they cheaper just because they're single cylinders? I mean, I guess kind of. They're also basically just a dirt bike that is made street legal. And I don't know, maybe that's not 100% true, but as far as I can tell, dual sports are in fact just a dirt bike that has some stuff slapped onto it to make it street legal. Maybe not necessarily the best. Maybe not necessarily the best for the street, but it's not terrible. I mean, really what I would want to do is I would want a scrambler. I would want a cargo scrambler, and maybe, like a scrambler. It's gonna be a thing. There are several things to consider there, especially with motors. Like, a lot of adventure bikes, are parallel twins, because you want a little bit more power, and I think there are some benefits that a twin has over a single, and like, okay. I was looking at somebody who, because I was like, you know what, okay, so what would I want to do? What I honestly would really want to do is, take the fairing and the body panels off of a, we're gonna go to this and come back. Take the fairings and the bodywork off of let's say a Honda CRF 300 or something, or a 450 or a 650 or whatever, or a KLR 650 for that matter, and then just slap on some 3D printed bodywork that I like, just the aesthetic of. Probably make it look boxier, like, trying to think of some examples. I honestly really like the look of the Honda Mantra, I think, and the Honda Big Ruckus. I think it's the NS250 is also known as. They're very boxy. I really like the look. I really like the sort of, I don't want to say cyberpunk look, because it's like the 80s. That's the vibe. That's the vibe I like. I will also say that, For probably, I really like the, but yeah, sorry, okay, getting sidetracked. Come back to that in a second. Yeah, take off the body panels and then put my own, just for aesthetics. I don't know how good that would look, or how bad that would look, to be completely honest with you. I do like the idea. Especially because, yeah, like, yeah, cause like, I mean, I'm not, like, again, utilitarian, but like, it's not a matter of, substance over style, or style over substance. I want both, but on the scales, right? The substance is more important than the style, but the style is absolutely a thing that needs to be a part of the equation, though, right? I also like the look of the Honda Dream. It's super boxy. It is a boxy 60s motorcycle. It is a, oh, what's the term? A backbone? A backbone motorcycle. So, you know, like, okay, so the first, well, maybe not first motorcycles, but like, imagine a bike frame. And now imagine the space under your legs on a bike. That's where the engine goes. Most motorcycles nowadays are like dual cradle. I think that's the term. I could be derping. Basically, you know how it's just one frame, or it's just one pipe underneath that goes from the pedals to, you know, the steering column, handlebar holder column thing. I don't know the terms. I'm a dumbass. Yeah, with a motorcycle, basically, there's just two. Usually, there's two pipes that go. But a backbone is a completely different thing. Where it is pressed steel frames, usually two, that are welded together, but not necessarily always. And they form this sort of backbone shape. It's hard to describe necessarily without pictures, but it's this different thing. I think they're kind of cheaper because you don't have to weld the thing. You don't have to get pipes, cut the pipes, weld the pipes together. It's just get sheet metal, cut the sheet metal, fold the sheet metal, and then weld it together, weld all of that together. And that can be a simpler, and if you do it to scale, faster process. And I think also, because I don't think they necessarily have to be welded together. Obviously, it'd be nice, but you could also just put some bolts in, especially just, you know, to be on the safe side. But obviously, like, if there's shoddy welds on any of a traditional framed bike, then yeah, that's gonna cause some fucking problems. All that is to say that usually go with the frame sort of thing instead of the backbone, because the backbone is heavier, tends to be heavier. And all scooters, at least I'm pretty sure, all scooters basically are backbones. They're underbones, which basically means is just a different type of bend. The Honda Super Cub is the most famous underbone motorcycle. And basically that is like halfway between a traditional backbone and a traditional scooter sort of frame. I rambling on about motorcycles for too long. may have to continue this in the next one, but yeah, the Honda Dream is, yeah, it's probably like the bare minimum of what I would want in terms of power. I think there's several versions. I think there's like a 195 or something. But I think there's also like a 305 cc motorcycle or 300 cc engine, I think. And so, but there's multiple, and it's a whole thing, and it's got a lot of, it's a stylish looking hog, and emphasis on the hog, I guess. But probably a dual sport just because, with a single cylinder, because yeah, because one cylinder is easier to work on than two. Until next time, have a good day, great day even. Cheskis.